All right, guys, I'm officially a free agent. Who wants me? I said I'm a free agent now, so...
Yeah, we heard you. We're all set.
What? Okay, no, I understand not wanting to trade for me because of my contract, but why would you not want me now?
Because you're not good.
Excuse me? I can't believe the team with my own brother on it would say something like that.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know, but it feels rude. Nerd, tell him what's up.
Nerd.
Dalvin, unfortunately, the metrics say you're on the decline.
Metrics? We're in America. Don't we use the imperial system?
You're so dumb.
What? We run for yards, not meters.
The metrics are statistics that offer deeper insight into who you are as a player.
For example, you were second in the league in rushing yards over expected 2 years ago.
This past year, though, you were 35th. Your explosiveness and elusiveness scores have also dropped dramatically.
Really? This is how we're gonna do things now? I ran for 1,200 yards last year.
It would have been 1,500 if you weren't slowly turning into hot garbage.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, but he's right.
What? Miami. I thought we were doing this thing. Hometown kid coming back to Florida. We were gonna, but then it took too long, so we drafted A-Chain instead, which was probably the better decision because he's cheap and fast. I'm cheap? No, you're not.
And fast?
No, you're not. All right, whatever. I'm gonna take my time with this free agency.
Not like you have a choice.
And when one of you inevitably realizes you need me, I'll be waiting.
I thought that was funny as hell. I love what the guy said. We got cheap and we got fast with A-Chain. And he's like, I'm cheap and I'm fast. He goes, nah, you're not really. So this Dalvin Cook drama has gone on and on and on, and you still have a lot of people, especially on Twitter. I know a lot of you guys aren't on Twitter, but there's a lot of people on Twitter who are still clamoring for Dalvin Cook to sign with the Miami Dolphins. And with each day that passes, I think the likelihood of that happening gets less and less and less. And especially the closer we get to training camp, where, you know, who knows what team is going to need a running back. And you got some guys out there, Kareem Hunt, Ezekiel Elliott, and of course Dalvin Cook. But I want to talk to you and show you a quick video that really caused me to do another Dalvin Cook update. I wasn't going to do one. I said the last one was it. But this video I'm going to show you really opened my eyes and went, are we missing this? Are we missing this whole thing? Take a look at this video. It's only 10 seconds long, but there's so much in it that I want to talk about.
I'm excited to see where he goes. I'll always be pulling for him, and I kind of am optimistically hoping maybe we get him back. Who knows? But maybe there's an outside chance. So we'll see.
Did you catch that? It was 10 seconds long, so I'm not sure you caught that, so I'm going to play it one more time.
I'm excited to see where he goes. I'll always be pulling for him, and I kind of am optimistically hoping maybe we get him back. Who knows? But maybe there's an outside chance. So we'll see.
What outside chance? That was just really weird to me that the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback said, I'm really hoping we get him back. There's an outside chance. Was this entire thing a charade? I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth. I know there's a trainer down in South Florida who posted some stuff, some really vague information, thinking that, you know, Dalvin Cook was going to sign with the Dolphins. I know there's been a tremendous amount of talk. There's some other YouTubers who say it's definitely happening. But the quarterback of the team that he just played with, who released him, is saying, I think there's an outside chance. What outside chance? Why would Dalvin Cook go back to the Minnesota Vikings? What do the Vikings have in mind in terms of bringing Dalvin Cook back? And I don't think a lot of people saw that and said, you didn't have any questions as to why Kirk Cousins, the quarterback of the team, would imply that there's even a remote chance of bringing Dalvin Cook back? Is it because of like that funny video? There's just no interest right now? I mean, we don't know. We don't know what the negotiations are behind the scenes, but it's pretty obvious that Kirk Cousins felt that there was a outside chance of him coming back to Minnesota. So I'm going to segue from there and go into another video, which is just amazing to me. And we're talking about running back valuations. I started talking about that in my last video, talked a little bit about it with Saquon Barkley and how he's not getting the numbers he wanted. If he's not getting the numbers he wants, what do you expect Dalvin Cook to get? So I want to show you a really interesting video. The video features Cynthia Freeland from NFL, the NFL Network, and the league she works with. She appeared on the Rich Eisen show recently, and she's talking about running back valuations. This is really interesting. It kind of gets into the weeds, but let me just tell you who she is again, because it's really important that you understand who she is. So here's her background. Cynthia Freeland, and that's her, the blonde lady, is an NFL media first analytics expert and can be seen across a variety of NFL media shows and platforms. You can see Cynthia on NFL Fantasy Live and every Friday on NFL Game Day View. Unlike the other ones like Mina Kimes and some of these people who are just basically pretty faces talking about football, this is a data analyst. I want you to see her information down here. Freeland graduated from Boston College with a BS in biology in 2005 before receiving her MBA in finance, entrepreneurship, and innovation, and continuing in the MS of predictive analytics at Northwestern University. In other words, she's freaking smart. She's really, really smart, and she knows her shit. Now, I understand, I think Mina Kimes went to Harvard or something, but a master of science in predictive analytics, that's what it says here, a master of science in predictive analytics at Northwestern University, a prestigious school, a very, very prestigious school, and she's a master of science in this area. Smart woman. So she talks about the valuation of the running backs in today's NFL market. And you got to listen closely to what she says here.
Well, what do the analytics say about the value of running backs in this National Football League?
Well, the reality is
Notice this for her first question. What do the analytics say? Not what you think, not what your opinion. What do the analytics say about the running back market in the NFL?
you can't overpay any position, and a running back in a second contract, which is typically your most expensive contract, sometimes a third contract's more, but it's rare that you're going to find someone who isn't, and I hate to say this, pretty easily substitutable. There's probably about 5 running backs in the league that are not easy to substitute, but the rest, it's, you can look to the draft and the Bijan Robinsons of the world who are on a rookie deal. It's going to be interesting to see what happens 4 years from now when
Bijan Robinson, or you can just put the name Devin A-Chain in there. Same thing. Rookie running back who signed for 4 years for like a total of $5 million, whereas Dalvin Cook wants, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million per year. Do the analytics on that.
you would have to be looking at a potential renewal. Where will the marketplace be? Because you wouldn't have imagined with Ezekiel Elliott, with, coming out and being drafted 4 overall, like that's a wildly high number. But at the end of the day, it's really about price for return on investment.
Price versus return on investment. I've watched so many shows on ESPN, First Take, Get Up, all of them, NFL Live, and very few people talk about price versus return on investment. What am I going to get for my money? Dalvin Cook sitting across from me. I'm saying, you're 28 years old. You've got some tread left on the tire, but if I'm going to pay you $10 million, are you $5 million a year better than Devin A-Chain?
You talk about the cap going up, but let's be honest, it only has gone up about 8%. And that 8%, you're pretty much just paying your quarterback.
Now think about that too. So if I go and pay Dalvin Cook a lot of money, or some of the other guys on the team a lot of money, there's a quarterback on the Miami Dolphins who had his 5th-year option extended that if he stays healthy and if he balls out the entire year, you're going to have to back up the Brinks truck. You are going to have to pay Tua $200 million plus, maybe 220. Just think about that. Think if you're a GM, you're Chris Greer, and down the road, hey man, if Tua stays healthy and he plays the entire season like he played the first half of last season, just imagine that. I mean, seriously. He was an MVP candidate through the first 8, 9, 10 games of the season. He just went through the league, was top-rated passer. Everybody could spew the stats before the wheels fell off. Now imagine that happening for 16 or 17 weeks. Then next year you're going to negotiate with him, and he's going to get at least $200 million if that's exactly what happens. makes a big difference. So what she said, the money goes to the quarterbacks.
And maybe a pass rusher. So it's not like going up like gangbusters. So the running back salary, and by the way, tight ends are now starting to get paid more because they're catching more passes.
Except if you're the Miami Dolphins, who doesn't value tight ends.
And we're throwing the ball on first down a higher percentage of the time, year over year over year. So you really have to pay for performance, and wide receivers and corners and pass rushers and tackles and wide receiver. I'm not anti-running back. I'm just don't overpay your running back.
No, that's
Yeah, don't overpay the running back. At this point, the return versus, profit or risk versus return is I've got Devin A-Chain here on the roster, signed for 4+ years with the option year for $5 million. All 4 years for $5 million. What am I going to get with Dalvin Cook that I wouldn't get with Devon A-Chain? I'm going to have to spend double the amount for Dalvin Cook than I would have to spend for Devon A-Chain. Is it worth it? No, I don't think it is. I think it's a glamour shot. I think it's something that makes the fan base feel good. But it's in reality, I don't think it makes financial sense. Unless, of course, Dalvin Cook wants to come in and take like $3 or $4 million with a really heavenly laden incentive deal and take the $2 million he's owed from Minnesota and make his money that way. So if you throw, Dalvin Cook $3 or $4 million, he's got $2 from Minnesota coming, that takes him to $6, and say, we're going to give you, as she just said, we're going to give you an extra $4 million in incentive. You play all 17 games, we'll give you $1 million. You break 1,000 yards, we'll give you another $1 million. You score 20 touchdowns, we'll give you another $1 million. Hey, now you're looking at, again, performance-based investment. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody in sales is based upon performance. So, Dalvin Cook, you want to come to Miami? I don't really have the money for you, but you know what? I can give you a lot of performance-based incentives, and just like with Tua this year, prove it.
Yeah, I feel bad because I love running backs, and I think they're extremely valuable. It's just the market that we're in right now. And that said, Dalvin Cook, he's ready to get paid. Who is going to pay him? Who is he the best fit for?
I think what you'll see is a deal that resembles more of what Austin Eckler got, because Eckler's actually enormously valuable, especially
Austin Eckler with the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost said San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers.
because he, knock on wood for him, seems to not get hurt, and the rest of the Chargers have some sort of injury plague that seems to happen on that team every year. But I'm looking at Dalvin Cook's deal and saying, okay, well, he's going to probably get an incentive structure that looks more like Austin Eckler's, which means pay for performance. Are you on the field? Are you doing the things we need? If yes, then get paid.
I would have no problem with a pay for performance type of contract. Not as somebody paying the contract, nor as somebody accepting the contract. Now, the only problem with that, and this could be a deal breaker. If my pay is based upon performance, and I need so many carries to gain so many yards behind your shitty offensive line, and I need to do that, one, you better bring in some horses up front. Number two, you got a wideout over here saying he wants 2,000 yards and he wants the ball. So Mike McDaniel, if this is what you're going to bring in with Chris Greer, and you're going to give Dalvin Cook an extremely incentive-laden contract, what are you going to do? It's November. It's mid-November. Dalvin Cook is saying, hey, listen, I'm sitting at about 850 yards. I got to get another 150 to get my $1 million contract. And Tyreek's over there, and he's like, wow, I'm at about, right now, 1,500 yards. I need 600 more yards to get my 2,000. What do? I mean, you can't do like Tom Brady did with Gronk and stay in a game and make sure Gronk got his touchdowns so that he got his $1 million bonus. You got two guys to worry about. And on top of all that, forget the two guys. Completely forget the two guys. You got to win. Remember, November 24th, you got the New York Jets. December 17th, you got the New York Jets. You've got Buffalo. It's prime time to actually win. Hey, Dalvin, I don't care if you get 30 yards. Tyreek, sorry, I don't care if you get 60 yards passing. The goal is to win, and now you've got two guys who want to base everything on performance about me. Hey, Dalvin, I know you're going to get an extra $1 million or $1.5 million if you get to 1,000 yards, but we can't do it, man. We got to win this game. Hey, Tyreek, I understand you want 2,000 yards, but hey, listen, it's 3rd and 1, and we need this first down. We're going to give it to Dalvin, but there's only so many times I can throw the ball to you. Do you see where the complexity of this may lie? Do you see and understand how a performance-based contract, while sounding good, could completely destroy this team come November and December? Will he get disgruntled? Well, you saw Stephon Diggs. You saw him at the end of the season screaming at Josh Allen. What do you think Tyreek's going to do if he's at 1,700 or 1,800 yards and he can't break the 2,000 mark that he set in May as where he wants to be? What happens if Dalvin Cook is at 850 yards and he's 2 games away, or there's 2 games left in the season and he needs 150 yards to break 1,000 for a $2 million bonus, and you can't get him the ball? This is where I don't think it's worth bringing Dalvin Cook in. I think you got Devon Achane, a young kid who's got speed. You already have Mostert. You already have Jeff Wilson. You don't have anybody to have to worry about other than Tyreek. And, a lot of people have said if Tyreek doesn't get his touches, can you imagine come December on the Dolphins sidelines, instead of it being Stephon Diggs yelling at Josh Allen, you got Tyreek over there screaming at Tua for not getting him the ball. This could be a nightmare. Could be great. Could be absolutely great. No problem whatsoever. Dalvin gets his touches. Tyreek gets his touches. Jalen Waddle gets his touches. But you have to put that in the mix there. So let's continue with what Cynthia has to say here.
It's with Zeke in the marketplace too, and another rumors of trades or whatever potentially even still looming. It's an interesting problem. I know it seems he wants to go to Miami given his Instagram situation, but I mean, I would want to too. No state income tax. It's a really nice weather situation.
Everybody wants to come to Miami. It's no secret. The biggest athlete in the world, Lionel Messi, coming to Miami.
And you get to play your brother, I guess, when he plays the Bills, but the market will dictate that. And I actually think that we could see something like for him, like we could see wait till training camp, and we see it every year. Someone unfortunately gets hurt, and potentially that could drive where he lands.
That could be what happens. Just put yourself, training camp opens late July. Teams are going through different things. You're Dalvin Cook. You're sitting on the sidelines waiting for that offer, and you want to go to Miami, but something happens in Cleveland, and Nick Chubb goes down, or something happens in Philadelphia, or something happens in Kansas City, and they say we need a running back. At that point, the auction begins. Hey, listen, Dalvin, we just lost Nick Chubb. He went down with a, ACL injury or something. Here's the $10 million you need. Come on in. You're our guy. That's where I think a lot of these deals are going to take place, because right now with the 90-man roster going into camp, I think if I were Chris Greer, I'd sit back too, because it's a gamble to take him now. And then you play the other gamble as if nobody else takes him. That price is going to keep sliding. That price is going to keep sliding down. If he gets to August and nobody has signed him, you're going to get a bargain basement discount price for Dalvin Cook, or he's going to sit out the year, one or the other.
I don't think it's I don't think there's a ton of activity to try to land him at this point.
Is he one of those 5 guys that you would value more than Justin Tucker?
Now I got to stop right there. This is funny. Okay. So this whole conversation, if you started it, they were talking about the value of Justin Tucker. If you don't know who Justin Tucker is the place kicker. He is the kicker for the Baltimore Ravens, but he's not an ordinary kicker. Justin Tucker, I looked up his Wikipedia page to have it ready. This is Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker is a 32 or 33-year-old kicker But he's known for his near perfect accuracy. Tucker is regarded as one of the greatest place kickers of all time. With a minimum of 100 attempts, he has a 90.5% success ratio in kicking field goals, and he has the longest field goal at 66 yards. So basically, Justin Tucker, when he comes out the locker room, is already in range. He's good for 3 points. He's pretty much gonna make the field goal. I mean, 90%. And so the whole conversation they were having was, hey, how do we compare Justin Tucker to everybody else? Is Justin Tucker as valuable as this guy? Is this guy as valuable as Justin Tucker? Let's have a bar here. And she went through a bunch of people earlier and said, nope, Justin Tucker's still more valuable. How about this guy? Nope, Justin Tucker's still more valuable. I mean, she's doing it from an analytical point of view. And so they get to the point now where she's like being asked, is Dalvin Cook more valuable than Justin Tucker? Let us know that.
No.
No.
He's not one of mine.
All right, so who
Minnesota fans think I hate them already, so I don't hate Minnesota fans, but he's not up there.
All right, who?
He's not up there. Just point blank. Nope. Justin Tucker is more valuable than Dalvin Cook. Don't even put Dalvin Cook in Justin Tucker in the same sentence. That cracked me the hell up.
Who are your running backs on the Justin Tucker level?
I mean, look, Derrick Henry changes the complex of a defense. He makes it so that you can, because it's yards after. Always look at, if you want like a shortcut as to who's really valuable.
Now listen to what she says here, and hopefully she earns your respect. She's got the cred, and she's going to talk like I haven't seen many women talk about football with what she says right here.
Look at yak, both kinds, yards after contact and yards after the catch, and yards after contact after the catch, because
I just love that. She went through 3 different yaks: yards after contact, yards after catch, yards after contact after the catch. Whew, that's a woman after my own heart right there.
running
Double
backs
yak.
have to do both. I actually do think Austin Eckler is in that spot, which is amazing because he's never been to a Pro Bowl, which seems really crazy to me. I would say, look, I don't know about Saquon yet. I don't know if I would put him up there yet.
She doesn't even put Saquon Barkley in the Justin Tucker category. Think about that. Forget Dalvin Cook. Take Dalvin Cook off the table. She doesn't even value Saquon Barkley as much as Justin Tucker.
I'm not sure. I do think he's enormously valuable, and they need to figure out a way to find a deal with him. But I want to see more from him. Potentially him. He's kind of borderline for me. There's a number, but not Dalvin Cook doesn't fall in that.
But the fact that we're
There's a number, but Dalvin Cook, nah. Yeah, he ain't it, man. If the lead analyst and master of science in predictive analytics for Northwestern with the NFL just kind of brushes off Dalvin Cook, what in the hell are these fans doing? These fans out there on Twitter, Miami Dolphins fans, are screaming about Dalvin Cook, and she just summarily dismisses the guy and says, nah, he's not even as valuable as Justin Tucker. Man, I know it's going to make a lot of people freak out.
comparing these guys to Justin Tucker. And by the way, credit
It's
to
value.
you, Brockman.
It's value.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's value.
Absolutely.
Right.
But
Right.
fascinating.
Right. Don't overpay him. Don't overpay him.
Don't overpay.
Right. It's not saying he's not valuable. It's saying don't overpay him.
It's not saying that he's not valuable, just don't overpay. Well, you're pretty much saying he's not as valuable as a kicker, he's not as valuable as Saquon Barkley, and he's still unsigned. He's out there with Ezekiel Elliott and Kareem Hunt. He doesn't have the value. I don't know what you guys think about that, but she was pretty much on point. And if anyone has anything to say about what she said, you better bring the goods. I don't want to hear your opinion, not really caring about what you think. Analytics tells the story. Data doesn't lie. The numbers don't lie. Let me know what you think.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?